Morning everybody, it's Monday morning here at Menta Watches HQ. Wanted to do a quick unboxing with you guys because I got a packaging of a couple watches I'm excited about. They came to me via my good buddy Jack out of Singapore. Some of you guys might know him. It's Jack Long YF on Instagram. He's a really good collector. We've been friends for many years and he collects primo stuff, so I know the watches are going to be good. So let's take a look and see what we got. And Jack, thank you for your patience. Patiently waiting to get paid until this arrives. This makes me nervous. It says security checked. Jack, you need to pack your watches a little better. There's two watches in here of substantial value. It looks like it's just like a padded pack. But we'll look past that for a second. So security check. Let's hope they didn't tamper with the watches. Hope they're in here. So we're gonna open them up, take a look at what we got, do a little inspection, and talk about it. Thank you for the customization check. Alright, well, it doesn't seem like customs opened these up, so we should be good to go. Let's open the bubble wrap. Okay, we have two watches. Let's put it out, see what we got. First watch is Eric Clapton Universal Geneve Tri-Compax, one of my favorites. And also one of my favorites, I already know what it is, but let's see, let's do a little reveal. Zenith El Primero A386 chronograph. Honestly, two of my favorite watches from the 60s eras of chronographs. So let's talk about them. First, we have the Tri-Compax. The first thing I look at when I look at these watches is flip it over. And I make sure the serial number and reference number, and we'll get some close-ups for you guys. We'll, put them in the video to make sure that that serial and reference number are visible. Now, a lot of the times on these case backs, they got very, very worn, and just because the engravings are so light, they would wear off very easily. So it's a very big bonus when you do have them on the case back. It's not a deal killer for me per se when they don't, it's just a question of value. So we're gonna loop it. 881-101/01. So the /01 is denoting the Clapton Dial. Serial number visible on the back, 25XXXXX. So far so good. These watches were produced in the 60s. I think they were a really big step up for UG. I'm a huge fan of UG. If you guys hadn't known, you can see my earlier videos. I think Universal Geneve, now defunct, was doing some amazing stuff back in the day. They were creating really complicated watches and interesting watches before anybody else was, at reasonable price points. Here we have a triple date calendar chronograph with a moon phase complication, and it probably cost you a few $100 back in the day, whereas if you wanted to get one of the 60s from, say, Patek Philippe, you were spending thousands of dollars. Also, these 1960s watches were a big step up for me in terms of the sportiness of them, because the Tri-Compax chronographs from the 40s and 50s were very, very dressy. Not that they're not cool, but these were really a sporty watch compared to what they made in the 40s and 50s. Why is this called the Clapton? Well, very simply put, Eric Clapton was seen to be wearing this exact model with Menta Dial, white and black registers, while playing the guitar at concerts. And so we know that he wore this watch, he owned this watch. Eric Clapton's a big watch guy. So it's cool. So this watch was deemed the Eric Clapton Tri-Compax. This watch came in 4 different variations. Quick story time. When I was looking, before I was a dealer, to buy my first Universal Geneve Tri-Compax, I went down the street, actually from where my office is now located, to veteran, amazing watch dealer Matthew Bain of Matthew Bain Inc. And he had 4 of these in stock. So I told you before, they made 4 dial variations. They made a white dial, black dial, a teal dial, and what they call the exotic dial. He had all 4 in stock. I was really after this one, actually. So I went down with a little bit of money in my pocket, and he wasn't there that day, but Ali from his office was helping me out. and the white dial had just sold. So I'm like, okay, what else do you guys have? Black dial on hold. Teal dial, part of Matt's personal collection. So the last one they had, which is the one I was actually the least interested in, and now is my personal favorite, was the exotic dial. It was in perfect 10 out of 10 condition. I really like the exotic dial because there's no contrast on the top register, so it looks like a 3-register chronograph, and we'll show you guys what we're talking about. And long story short, I bought the watch at an all-time record price at the time, since, I don't know, 2014, 2015, for like $9,700, which is a crazy price at the time. It was very high. Like a year and a half later, one sold at Phillips auction for 30 grand, and the market exploded. So yeah, really cool watch. So what I like to do next is I loop the dial, so we see correct end links, correct double green gay phrase bracelet, dated correctly 1969. General inspection of the watch to see the condition of the dial, see if there's any marks. Loom looks original. We'll be giving a quick UV blast just to make sure, and we'll explain what I'm doing in a future video as to checking loom and understanding what you're looking at. So we do a quick UV blast. It looks like perfect tritium. It glows while it's exposed and then immediately extinguishes. Correct for the era. Really nice watch. Thank you, Jack. Case looks very strong, maybe lightly polished, but very, very nice with nice bezels. Bezel clean, got over 90 bezel, similar to the popular premium Vegas Speedmasters. But yeah, really nice watch. Final cool little quirky thing about this watch, it doesn't have the original crystal. No, it does not. Not really a value thing, but kind of cool when they still have the original crystal, which were stamped with a U in the middle, inside the crystal, so you knew it was a UG crystal. Alright, moving on. Seriously, one of my favorite 60s chronographs is the El Primero reference A386. The A386 was the first watch by Zenith to incorporate their 3019 PHC automatic chronograph movement, which was a huge thing back in the day because it was the very first automatic chronograph movement watch. And it was so popular that even when Rolex decided that they needed to make a movement for their Daytona line, they didn't have an automatic chronograph movement in-house, so they decided to outsource it, and the only people they trusted were Zenith. That's why we have the now famous and popular Zenith chronographs. So, same thing as the UG. We're going to look at the case back to make sure the serial numbers are still visible, and Jack so politely puts case back stickers over it to protect them. I can already see from here without the loop that the serial number is faint, but it is present. Again, these engravings on both of these watches were very thin, so they wore off, without even having to be polished. They were just, worn over time like a lot of cases do, so it's a very big bonus when they do have them. Correct ZJ end links on this, what they call ladder, also gay phrase bracelet. Very cool. What a beautiful watch. I really love this watch. Honestly, they just don't make them like this anymore. Even Zenith, because they couldn't beat this, they started making this watch over and over and over again, new iterations. And what I love about the A386 versus other El Primero references of the same era, 60s and 70s, is that this is the only one that is not a cushion case. So it's a larger size with long lugs, a little bit of a thinner profile, and just a stunning watch. So same thing, we're going to loop the dial, make sure good old Jack didn't scratch it. And it looks super clean. Excellent condition. Same thing, the loom looks original, but let's give it a little blast with the UV light. Perfect. So yeah, really excited about these two watches. Jack, thank you for selling them to me. For me, 60s era watches that are not Rolex don't get much better than this. These are two of the best chronographs that were made in the era, and I'm looking forward to enjoying them, and I guess, unfortunately, selling them sometime soon. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, comment below. I don't know, all the YouTube jargon, subscribe, like, whatever. Do what you gotta do, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.